Hi everybody, AZ Badfish here, welcome back to PrimeFools. So in the last episode, we got the Subterranean Ops complex up and working with our builder block quarry, and that thing has been putting in work. As you can actually not see, I've cleared out a ton of area with this thing, and I'm now to the point where I cannot actually run it without having a chunk loader, because the chunks it needs to dig out are too far away. Which is fine. It kind of does put a limit on how much I can really use this thing. We'll talk about this stuff here in a second. But I want to show you guys, this thing has been putting up so much work. I'm now full, well, as far as the upgrades in the drawers are concerned for right now. I'm full on iron ore, I'm full on coal, I'm full on basalt. I've got over 2,000 diamond ore blocks. I am pretty stacked right now. I've got everything I need, man. As far as Scallium goes, though, man, we've made quite a bit of progress. Each of these layers is 9 blocks, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 layers minus 2. So that's a total of 52 Scallium cubes in my reactor currently. This thing, according to my math, the wiki says each cube puts out 160 RF per tick. That's over 8,000 RF per tick that thing is putting out. So that means to me that we can probably remove this temporary setup. And in fact, it makes sense to do that now because we're not able to even run this thing 100% of the time. It stops. Like, there's been a couple times I'll come in here and this says chunk not available. I'm like, oh man, I need to move the chunk loader. So because of that, and I think we'll only be using it temporarily, I mean, realistically, I've got probably all the Scallium I need. I can probably replace this with a huge wall of capacitors, capacitor banks rather, and then just flip the switch, and whenever I need it, it'll clear out, you know, maybe depending on how much RF I can store in here, which is quite a bit. I can maybe clear out a whole, you know, 100 by 100, which is 49 chunks in one go. Or that might be 50. I don't know. It depends on the actual placement of how many chunks it actually is. But yeah. So that's pretty neat. I think I'm going to let this finish up before I actually disconnect it from the power. But in the meantime, I'm going to get crafting up a bunch of capacitor banks. We'll probably replace this wall because it doesn't make sense to have it glass if it's going to have to fly around a big wall of capacitor banks and stuff like that. Plus, it will hide the outside of this, which I said we'll talk about in a little bit. All right, so I've got this massive wall of vibrant capacitor banks. I think that's 15 of them, 375 million RF per tick. I've got it hooked up to a dimensional transceiver, and I'm trying to be smart about it. So I've hooked it up, and this insert cable, unfortunately, is going to throttle us to 20,000 RF per tick, which is, of course, more than we're able to produce. But, I mean, it's better, I suppose. I mean, it doesn't really matter, but the point of this is that it's active with the redstone signal. So I can disconnect this room from the main power signal or power plant just by throwing this lever. So if I throw this, we should see this is now going to start filling up, and it's gonna store at a max, or it's going to receive at a maximum 20,480 RF per tick, because that's the max amount of the cable. Even though this is capable of receiving at a rate of 375,000 RF per tick, that's a bit ridiculous. I don't even know what the rate of this thing. I don't know what the rates here are. I wonder if it can even do that. I don't know. But if I'm guessing what's going to happen is we're probably going to be experiencing some power issues here for a minute. We're going to see, yeah, this is being drained. And it's receiving power from here, but it's not able to keep up. So it's obviously it's putting out a lot more than it's receiving. So we're going to probably actually end up draining this entire capacitor bank, which means that I don't know what that actually means. I think it means that we're gonna see the power at the main base start losing in that capacitor bank, but that's not a big deal. That's we're not going to be pulling from that. It's just not going to be getting any more power while that capacitor bank needs to fill up. So once this one's full, that one will start filling up, and once that one's full, the one back at base, actually no. This one will fill up, and then the one back at base will fill up, and then that one will fill up. All right, anyways, I should probably not do a whole lot more while that's happening, because I don't want to mess up any of my power stuff here. All right, so the power is all sorted out again, and I've been doing a little bit of work over here. Now, this is what I've been referring to as the manufacturing wing, coming off of this section of the main entrance for the complex as a whole. And what we're going to be doing over here, we've got a couple things we're going to be doing. Not all of it in this episode, obviously. We're going to have a wither killing place here. I'm going to have auto crafting stuff set over here. Most likely going to have multiple floors of that as well. And over here is going to be a mob spawner room. Now I'm going to hook up a few powered spawners in here. And we're going to be doing some pretty cool stuff to activate them. At least I hope. That's the plan anyways. But as you can see, we are right next to the bedrock, so we've kind of got to plan this out a little bit, probably build it from the bottom up. That way we don't find ourselves in a position where we need to go down when obviously we can't. So here's what I'm thinking. We've got enough room, you know, a standard spawner room is a 9x9 room, right? This is something like 9x14, I believe, or 9x13, because I added four more in this direction. I made it a little bit wider so that I can actually fit 5 spawners in here. Now, I've only got ideas for 3 of them right now. I want to have regular skeletons because I actually need some bones. I want to have wither skeletons for the skulls. I want to have endermen, which is going to be a challenge in itself, but I know already how to resolve the teleporting issue. In fact, I'll just show you real quick. There's this pretty cool thing in here from, I think it's Ender.io, called the Inhibitor Obelisk, which prevents teleporting within its area of effect. So we set this thing up in here. Endermen will not be able to teleport out of our little area once they spawn into the room. So that's pretty sweet. All right. So how are we going to kill these things? I'm thinking we'll do this pretty simply, right? Ooh, nice. I have 3 diamond spikes. That's pretty cool. Where did that come from? Oh, I know where it came from. I rerouted the item conduits and stuff in that other room to clean it up just a little bit. All right, so we've got our 3 diamond spikes. Now, I'd also like to get what's called an absorption hopper, which is pretty sweet. Do I have any of these? What am I missing? Lots of stuff, but I can craft all of it. So we'll craft one of these. And we'll come back in here, and we'll craft a hopper. Sweet. And now absorption hopper. Cool. So this will pick up all the drops, and then we're going to actually put it into a drawer system. So I've got 3 2x2s here. I think I want to make a few more. Alright, I've crafted up a few drawers here, and I think I'm going to stick them over here. And I want the controller to be on the top. The other thing is, I'm not sure how tall this room is going to be. I know it's going to be taller than the standard room for sure, because we're going to need plenty of space for the spawners, but we're also going to actually have like the floor of the spawners be up here somewhere. And I want to have like a big window so that we can look into it. So this room here is going to be as tall as the spawners need to be. But the ceiling's just going to go way up there. I might have like some kind of platform that you can stand on to watch and see what's going on inside. But, so yeah, for now, I think I'll just kind of put these here. And I want to have the controller on the top, as I might have just mentioned. Because I'm going to end up having to redo the drawer controller in the quarry room. But for right now, it should be okay. Because I need a face for Ender.io and for Applied Energistics eventually. Eventually, I'll need the Applied Energistics one. So this will be good for now. Let's go ahead and kind of figure out. So this torch right there is our middle point of the room. And this is also where I want the killing stuff to happen. So this is actually the edge here. So to be inside the room will be right here, right? So what I need is actually some cobblestone, probably. Just any old builder block will do. And I'm going to, I think, set these right here, right? So I'll have 3 diamond spikes right here. And this is going to be our killing chamber. We're going to set up some mob fans. They're going to fall in here, and then they're just going to die. So what I need to figure out, though, is vacuums up items and XP orbs in the 7x7 area can be configured. See, I'm wondering, will this work if this is something that we need to test out, actually. So we'll have this here, right? And I don't know if I can pull directly from that. I might need a chest. Let's drop some stuff on the ground right there. It's gone. Is it in the chest? It is. Awesome. Okay. That's really good. That means I don't actually need this chest at all. I can just run this straight into the drawers. Okay. So that is actually good. That means I can come directly behind this and not have to worry about blocking the chest. Cool. All right. So I'm guessing maybe just more screens. Oh, that might be cool. At least to be directly behind here like this. So we'll come up by 2. And that is our kill chamber, which means that this right here is going to be the level of the floor. Alright guys, so this is what we got going on in here. The room all set up, got some drawers going on, got our diamond spikes in place, everything's looking pretty nice. These are actually, this is ineffable glass, by the way. These are conduit facades. We're going to hook up our powered spawners underneath these, and these holes in the walls are for mob fans, which actually have some, and a few upgrades. So let's go ahead and slap these guys in place here. This guy here, and you, and then you. Okay, and then I want to give these guys upgrades. This one does not need a width upgrade, but I want to give him one of these distance upgrades, I suppose. Oh, can I not? Just click, put it. Okay. This one, though, is going to get 2 of these regular upgrades, and then I guess 2 also of the width upgrades as well. And that way we can cover this whole area, and then it'll push them all the way to the ends, and then these ones on the sides, of course, will push them into the middle there. So that's pretty sweet. Let's go ahead and get these guys in here. Should click him in there. Wait. You need another one of these. Perfect. Okay, and you. Sweet. So these will work. I am pretty sure they just work with a redstone signal. Like if I put a lever on there and flip the lever, we can activate them that way, but I want to do something slightly more interesting. But we're going to do that later when we wire up the rest of the stuff. Speaking of the rest of the stuff, we need to make some powered spawners. These guys take this stuff. No, none of this is going to be a problem, but I'm going to have to go back to the regular base to make those Z-Logic controllers, because that is where my slice and splice is. Alright, so I got my powered spawners, and now if I look in here, I believe I've got some that I want. I've gone ahead and I've got a skeleton one. I'll take the zombie one. I've got a blaze and another skeleton, which I don't need. The enderman one we'll take. We'll actually go ahead and place that and break it. Very good. Okay, so now I've got these 3. I still want to get one for wither skeletons, and now that is going to be a little bit trickier, I think. I'll go and put that back in here. We're going to need a soul vial. Yep, I've got a couple with a bunch of endermen in them. Okay, and then I think actually we can just hop over to our wither skeleton farm in the nether. We'll get one that way. We can do this pretty easily, actually. Wither skeleton farm. Don't crash. Please. Sweet. Yeah, Super Turtle built this really early on. Come here. Skellies spawn. Eventually. There we go, finally. Goodness. And see, that just says skeleton. With a skeleton. Alright, we're good. Alright, so actually we are going to need that other skeleton spawner. Just because I already have one skeleton spawner. So we'll go ahead and place that. We will break it. Okay. And then in this soul binder, I'm going to take one of the skeleton spawners, and put it with a wither skeleton. And I need 8 player levels, so that's fine. This is going to take a little while. All right, there we go. And now I got an empty soul vial and hopefully a wither skeleton spawner. Awesome. So then what we can do is take our broken spawner and, oh no, we combine them on an anvil. I have one over here. Then on an anvil, we take a powered spawner and then our broken spawner, combine them together, costs 16 levels, which ain't no big deal because I have a whole bunch in my experience obelisk right over here. All right, and this one, the Enderman, is the last one I've got plans for. So I've got a zombie skeleton, Enderman, and wither skeleton. So these are good. I'll have an extra one. I don't really have a use for it right now. I got to think of another mob that I want, if there even is another one that I want. All right, let's head back down there. All right, so this is where the cool stuff's gonna start happening. Let's make sure I don't accidentally fall in there. We'll put a spawners here. Which one's this one? That's the empty one. I want next the skeleton. Again, the empty one. Wither skeleton here, and empty one there, and you are the zombie. Okay, cool. So I guess while I'm thinking about it, let's go ahead and craft our, what is it? The inhibitor obelisk. Now, what do I need for that? Machine frame. I can make one of those pretty easily. Slap that in there, and then this stuff. Oh yeah, I got. Ooh, I actually need an ender crystal. Okay, I don't have one, but I can make one real quick. Okay, had to run back to the main base, but that's because that's where the slice and splice was, and that is why I have a whole bunch of soul vials with enderman in it. Okay, and now I should have all the stuff. Sweet. Now the question is, how does this work? Does this just work, or do I actually need to like power it? What's the deal? Okay, it does require power, so that's good to know. If I hit this and I show range, I can't actually see it. I wonder. Oh, very nice. Okay, that's perfect. That's more than enough. Great. Okay. So all I need to do is provide that thing with power, which is easy enough to do. All right, we'll have to remember, actually, how do I want to power? Because those are going to need power too. Oh, you know what I want to do, I think? Let's grab, do I have any capacitor banks? I have one 5 million, hey, that's cool. And it's got a bit of energy in it, so I guess, where do I want to put it though? Not right there. I guess right here is fine. Alright, got all this set up. Got a dimensional transceiver in here, 5 million RF capacitor bank, and our inhibitor obelisk, which is going to prevent endermen from teleporting away when they start taking damage in here, which is key. That is pretty sweet that we could do that. Okay, so these powered spawners, let's take a look at these real quick. I want to, so we're going to take these and we're going to change all of these to be active with signal for one. I'd also like to take a look at the range of these guys just to make sure that we are not going to have any issues with spawning outside. Nope. All right, that's good. Good. I was a little worried about that. So it looks like these could actually come down by a block, but that's okay. We don't really need them to. Let's go ahead here. Which one is it? It's this one. Turn that off. Okay. Active with signal. Active with signal is what I want. So active with signal. Active with signal. And this one, even though it's empty, we're going to set this one up to active with signal. All right, sweet. So now I can come up to the top here and we can start putting in our redstone conduit, which is what is going to actually control the redstone signal. Hopefully I can reach from here. Shift click. There we go. Okay. Now, because these are going to get spaghetti wired in here, unless I want to go through and wrench all of it, which I kind of don't, it's easier to just come in here and we'll give it a signal. Now, we're going to leave red for the first one, and we'll change this one to green. This one will be brown. We're just going to go whatever color is next in line, right? That way it'll be easy to remember. Blue, and then finally purple. Sweet. So then we can bring all of these up. It's cool that when you come look at the underneath side, you can actually see the labels change color. So you can get a real quick look and see what is what. Now we're going to be controlling these in a pretty cool way. So I'm going to come over here and I am going to be crafting up something called a redstone receiver. Now this guy, let's make a bunch of stuff here. There we go. Redstone receivers. Okay, so we've got these things, but we're going to power these things wirelessly. And we're going to do that using buttons and screens. So as I can see here, just because it's got the words redstone receiver in the tooltip, I'm going to craft up 6. Actually, right, 6, because I want one to also control the fans. So we're going to craft up 6 of these guys. Got 6 button modules. Now what we need is, to use the button modules, is a screen. Not the creative screen. We need this screen. So I need another machine base. No problem. Screen. Come on, man. Can't you pick a type of glass that I have like a whole ton of? Like will stained glass work? Nope. Okay. Now, screen. Great. Now, in order to make all that work together, we need something called the screen controller, which I need a machine frame. Oh, every once in a while, it just kicks me out of my inventory on here. That is a little bit worrisome. I don't know if that's just a glitch with the mod or what, but yeah. So we'll make that, and then I'll make one of these. Excellent. Now, in order to make this work, we've got to have the screen controller nearby the screen, basically. So we will just pop it right there. Great. Does this need... This does need power. All right, that's what I thought. So we're going to come out here, because I need to pull power from here anyways. We'll grab some energy conduits and just run a line like that. Great. Then we just place our screen on the wall, and there we go. There's a little GUI here. We can sneak right click for GUI and whatnot. So yeah, this is our GUI control for the buttons and stuff. But first things first, we need to get our redstone receivers in place. So I'm going to have one redstone receiver right here. This one is going to be for the fans. And then these are kind of tricky to place. I think if I place it on this edge of the block, it'll point that way. Okay, cool. So if I just do that for all of them. Great. Now I need to make sure all of these are in the correct channel. So this one would be next. All right, great. These are set up. Now I've got to do our buttons. So I'm going to take our button modules and I'm just going to, I think, do I right click? Yeah, okay. So now that one is set for, oh, did I just do all of them? Nice. Okay, let's split these up. All right, I got the buttons and receivers and redstone lines all sorted out. I've got actually the energy conduit now connecting all of our spawners. They're getting power now as well. And yeah, this is going to plan pretty well, except for one thing. This controller here, which is on its own network, which is why it's also the red color, was meant to control the fans, but as you can see, it doesn't connect to this. I guess these mods don't really work well together. Maybe it's just the fan. I don't know. If you guys know how I can control this with this button and these redstone conduits, let me know please down in the comments, because I'd really like to make it so I could shut that off. But for now, I'm just going to... What? How does that... That's not gonna... Okay, I don't know. That might. Well, let me see. Let's go set up our buttons real quick, though. And we'll test the fan one first. So, button 6 is for the fans. Now, if I sneak right click on here, I get this GUI here. Now, button 6, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I guess I should have counted here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is for the fans. Now, if I click on this button, I can open the GUI for that module, and I can say fans. And now I want to set this button to toggle so that it's either on or off. It doesn't act like a normal Minecraft button that just, you know, pulses for a second or two and then turns off. This is just going to actually turn on or off Oh, I forgot. I gotta do something with the screen, right? I've got to. It's something with the controller. Something with the controller. Scan one connected screen. Boom. Okay. So now I should have stuff on here. Nice. All right. So if I click this, that button becomes depressed. That sounds bad. The button presses, and yeah, this doesn't actually do anything. Even though this is, I believe it should be generating a signal. I don't actually have a way to see it with the conduit, but yeah, that doesn't actually do anything. So for now, that button is not going to do anything. We're going to have to control this with fans, like I said. So of course, as I said earlier, if you guys know how I can do this with the redstone conduit, please let me know. Okay, so our levers are in place and our fans are on, as you can see. So all that is good. All we should have to do now is hook up the rest of our buttons to our screen, doing the same thing. Shift right click, and then I'll start loading these buttons in. Okay, moment of truth. By the way, or real quick, I'll show you. In these GUIs, if you change the button instead of label, it actually puts the words on the button. I think that looks cooler. It's easier to see. So let's see what happens if we push the Enderman button. The Enderman spawner turns on. That is so sweet. All right, so skeleton with a skeleton, zombie. All right, now these spawners do not have any upgrades or anything like that. I know that like I can put octadic capacitors in here. Oh, is the fan being blocked? That guy's just walking around. Why is he not getting pushed in right there? Maybe it needs more upgrades? Alright guys, so back here, and I've added some more fan upgrades as well as a conveyor belt on the opposite side there. So as you can see, that Enderman there, he spawned on the other side. The fans couldn't push him forward, but now the conveyor belts will move him to either side of the little spawning contraptions there, and it's working for all the mobs as well. So that is pretty sweet. I've also moved the absorption hopper up there because we were getting some loot stuck up on the top there, and that seems to be all taken care of. This is all working pretty well, I'd say. I haven't had any issues. I want to show you also a new type of Malice's door is the force field. So we've got a force field door for here now. It's just it's real simple. You just build this force field controller, and once it kind of gets enough power, you click one corner and then click the other corner, and then you use it to turn it on and off. Pretty sweet. So this is working. I've also got an inversion obelisk here. It's got an octadic capacitor in it. It's got a soul vial with a withercat soul in it, because these stupid things spawn everywhere. They seem to ignore all the spawning rules, light levels. They spawn on bedrock, and now I've had this thing for a while, and I don't know if you could hear it, but there is one right over here, and it spawned while I was AFK editing videos. I don't get it. I mean, you can see how far out the range on that thing goes. Look, there's another one. Why? Why do these things keep spawning? Does anybody know? Are they broken? They've got to be broken. They shouldn't be spawning on bedrock in the first place. Yeah, I guess the aversion obelisk, it does nothing. But yeah. Anyways, guys, this is our mob spawner room, all done, dusted, pretty good. I'm happy with it. We can AFK here. I've got I wanted to show you guys real quick before we leave. I've got a bunch of these advanced item filters in here. So it allows me to ignore metadata, NBT data, ignore damage, as well as the ore dictionary, but that's not as important for what we're doing. But that'll let me, put in a pair of gold boots that are damaged, and that will, also count for every type of gold boot, including the enchanted kind. So I'm pretty sure we're doing pretty good here as far as not collecting a ton of garbage that we don't need. Alright, so like I was saying, this is all done, good to go, and I think we're going to go ahead and call that an episode, you guys. It's definitely been a long one. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun building this thing. If you did like it, leave me a like, leave me a comment down below. Let me know about what you think about this room and my base so far. If you've got any suggestions or knowing the answers to my quandaries throughout the episode, hit that subscribe button if you're enjoying the content. Don't want to miss anything. Check out the other PrimeFools. Their links are in my description as always. Until next time, you guys, I'll see you later. Bye-bye.